G'day everyone, welcome back to the channel. Bit of an exciting video this one. We started lambing about, I don't know, 5-6 days ago I suppose. Feels like 100 days already, but that's alright. To be fair, they've been going pretty good. These are just, well, we've got a few of them here. These are our early ones. You might remember last year we had some accidental earlies and it didn't go that well. Well, yeah, it was sort of out of our control. This year it's within our control. We've planned it, and so far it seems to be going very, very well. So we'll go and have a wee look, eh? So this girl down here, she's got two, pretty fresh out of the oven. Pretty sure they've both been up for a drink. That one in front of us was looking better before, and the other one not so much, but now the other one's up for a drink. So they can be pretty relaxed little critters. Yeah, I think she's doing alright. Had a pretty rough night. Well, the night wasn't too bad last night, but yesterday afternoon weather got a bit foul. Wasn't horribly cold, just really, really wet. But yeah, these girls are on plenty of feed, plenty of condition, and they've all got somewhere to shelter to a certain extent. You can see, whoops, where are we? Up behind me there's a shelter about planted there, but it was planted last year, and you're at least 5 years from when you plant them to when you get any shelter. So we're a wee way away from that, but yeah, the paddocks, they've all got somewhere they can go that's a bit warmer and a bit drier and out of the wind, which is the main thing. So yeah, this first paddock are, well, Slim, get up. Here, Slim, get up. Slim, get up. A little bit ignorant this morning. Yeah, this first paddock, we did them in two separate lines. So these ones are quite good ewes. All of these ewes are works ewes. The idea of lambing them early is we might get a few better lambs away a bit earlier, but the bigger idea is that freezing workspace for ewes has been getting tighter and tighter every year. Now, we've never been let down by a freezing company, but just sort of a way to ease a bit of pressure off them. We'll share these girls in October, late October, because they've got to be, I think, 3 weeks shorn to be able to go to the freezing works. So we'll share them late October, wean them late November, maybe get a few lambs away, but then all of the ewes can go to the works. And yeah, they're all ewes that they've either done their time, this is for quite a few of them, this is their 6th lambing, or they've had issues in the past and they're a bit light last year, and I thought, oh, might just be the last year they see out. But yeah, anyway, these ones here are the better ones. Better histories, as in they've never been helped at lambing, they've never been overly light, anything like that. So these ones we'll put to a Romney ram. We'll keep some replacements out of these, because your old girls that have done 6 lambings with no assistance, they've got to be some of your better genetics. They've got the longevity and they've done a lot of lambing with no assistance. So we want to do less work with our sheep at lambing. We want them to lamb themselves. So I thought, oh, seems a bit of a waste, putting them all to a terminal. So there's 45 ewes here. We might get, I don't know, complete stab in the dark, we might get 30 or 40 replacement ewe lambs out of here. We'll just see how we go. So these girls here, same boat, they're all works ewes. There's 184 I think in total. There'll be a wee few die, there's always a wee few die when you got livestock, but that's part of it. But yeah, these ones here have all been put to a pole Dorset. So this particular paddock here, we condition scored them all when we gave them their pre-lamb drench and vaccination, and drafted them through the Pratley, and we put, so these are the light ones. So we've got another paddock just over here and another one behind it. They're all the bigger, fatter, better conditioned ones. But yeah, so these are all put to a pole Dorset, like I said, which is a terminal breed. Well, to be fair, in some places it's a parental breed, but here on this farm we use it for a terminal. Better growth rates, better yield. Just try and get some lambs away a little bit earlier. But yeah, they've been going crazy. They've been going really well. So we're only a few days in, and there's a set of twins there. There's a newborn set overnight. Another one, where are we? There, and just up a little bit there, further up. They're bloody everywhere. These girls are probably close to a third. Be a quarter lambed out anyway. And yeah, we're only a few days in. So seems to be going pretty well. Interestingly enough, so far, well, we don't do a lot of work with our sheep at lambing, and we do try to breed that way. Anything that gets handled in any way, shape or form apart from getting cast, because that can happen. We don't keep replacement lambs from. So if you have to be help lambing, I can't even think of any other things off the top of my head. But yeah, we'll put a yellow tag in the rear. Obviously not these girls because they're all going to the works anyway, but the main line. So anything that has to be handled will no longer have its babies kept for replacements. We will send them all to the freezing works. Only the ewes that manage to do it on their own will actually be bred from for replacement sheep. And I'm not going to say that it has worked on its own, because we've made a lot of other changes in the last few years. Feeding better, we've changed ram breeders, we've done a few other things, and it could be any one of them, but I'd suggest it's probably an accumulated effect of the whole lot. So yeah, we don't do a lot of work with them, but I've done nothing with these girls. We must have 80 lambs running around now, I suppose, and I've picked up 3 dead lambs, which is pretty good. You always get a few dead lambs, and I think since we spread out we've had 3 of these ewes die, which, remember, a lot of them are old girls, and that does tend to happen. So you know, I'm pretty happy with how it's going. Got a very surprising number of these things. We didn't scan that many, to be fair. They've all got triplet marks on them. But yeah, the old triplets, 1 ewe, 3 lambs. It's not an ideal situation, but not much we can do to stop it. If we could, we would. But yeah, it's quite hard case to see. They do have a tendency to lamb a little bit earlier, which is probably why we see a bit of a rush in them now. They'll probably slow down the next few days, and there'll be bugger all more of them, and more twins and singles, which is what we want. But triplets aren't the end of the world. Most ewes will have 2 survive, some will have 3 survive, some will possibly have none. Yeah, but that's just part of it, I guess. On that one. Oh, what's up with this girl? Come on, girl, can't you get up on your own? Hey, come on. You wouldn't? Yeah, she can. Look at that. Didn't even have to touch her. Why couldn't you do that on your own, girl? So yeah, quite a bit more feed up here. These paddocks, these are the fatter ones. There's actually more feed down there, the skinny ones. Yeah, just more than that Romney mob, because yeah, the way it worked out. But yeah, they are pretty happy. So we're not really growing enough grass yet to actually feed them. So we've got this grass saved. These paddocks were grazed late May. Not decked right out, but grazed reasonably hard, so they've grown exceptionally well for winter, which has been a massive saviour for us this year. Yeah, so we need to have enough feed here to maintain them until the grass is growing enough to actually beat them, and that will happen at some point with these, because of that thing to match their growth, match the grass growth. These sheep are stocked a little bit lighter than others, so we're at about 10 or 11 to the hectare in here, whereas the average moving forward will be about 13 for, where are we? This big mob up here, when we spread them out in a few days, because they're not going to be going, these girls are spread out, where did they? 15 days ago, I suppose, 14 days ago, and we're just coming into that season where the grass starts growing, and that does hit pretty quick. So just got to, yeah, bit of management involved in trying to make it all work. Fourth and last paddock of late lambers, early lambers now. So this girl here has just had a single. This paddock doesn't have quite as much feed on it. So this is where we did all our new fencing, well, most of it. That one straight through there has been done too, and if I get my hoses from the post rammer back soon, there'll be one way over there get done as well. But anyway, it's working quite neat, because yeah, it means I can put 140 odd sheep in here, early lambing, and they're in 3 different paddocks, which is awesome. But yeah, this paddock here we did use for runoff for tooths at scanning, so it got eaten out a wee bit. What we've done here, so I forget what it is. There might be a little bit more than 10 to the heat there. I think there's like 50 in there, 50 in the other one, and then like 35 or 40 in here. And this one is slightly bigger. So yeah, it's got a bit less grass on it, but they've got more area per sheep. And in time, what we'll do is, if this one gets out of hand later on, is we'll pull sheep out of here, just a few of them, and put them into here. Or if things get too out of hand, we'll put the whole lot in, which hopefully my pasture management skills don't let it get that far away. Anyway, we're going to check these girls, and then we're going to go shift them back through that crop paddock and up to where those trees are up there, because there's a stupid amount of grass up there that needs at least some of it eaten before we spread out the rest of the ewes. Girls weren't very keen to walk back in that Swede paddock. They sort of thought they'd won. We hoggets here are due for a where are we? Yeah, due for a shift. Just there, they're out of feed, so they can have the last bit of that buffer zone shortly, as in about half an hour. These girls are supposed to be going that away. We'll get them there. Let them trickle through the gate nice and quietly. They're getting pretty heavy in lamb now. I don't really like shifting them around too hard and fast, and this is a wee bit of a walk for them, so I'll just take it easy and then get a head dog around them once they're in there, and I'll find their way. These girls sure aren't in a hurry. I've just got to go just up there, I don't know, maybe 150 metres. It just like flattens out up there. And then through one more paddock and they'll be away. Girls aren't looking too bad. Yeah, just go back and watch a few of the previous videos. You'll see I haven't been happy with ewe condition the whole way through winter, but pretty happy with how they've come out. Like, this girl here's a wee bit light, but she's an older girl and she's done well. Yeah, no, I'm pretty happy with them, to be fair, in general. We have taken a lot of light ones out and tried to look after them, to be fair. But yeah, work's been worth it. Nice and steady, unlike my hand on this camera. Moving away, they're just going to go to the paddock up above them there. And yeah, there's plenty of grass in there, we'll show you that. And there the girls go. So there's about 6.5 hectares this side of those trees. The other side of the trees is the paddock as well. But it got grazed off, oh no, close to a month ago I suppose, but this is the kind of grass they're in. It's a crop of baleage here really. It's a bit stupid. So yeah, we went into winter really scared about feed. We had plenty of Swedes. We knew the Swedes were going to be good, and they've turned out to be better than expected. Especially, you can just see through there, where are we? There's a few sheep on top of that knob there. We'll go and have a look at them in a minute. Especially that paddock, because we weighed it really poorly, being quite conservative, and the top half of the paddock has just blown us away. But yeah, grass growth over winter. So we went into winter, no paddocks were really erased. So longer the grass, the better the growth. But the poorer the quality, admittedly. So yeah, we were a bit worried we were going to have a lot of good, or a very small amount of very good quality grass. What's happened? It's kind of the opposite. Yeah, the quality isn't actually an issue over the whole farm. Just these last two paddocks, that one the ewes just come out of, and this will be a bit of an issue too. But yeah, I don't know how the grass has grown so much over winter. We don't grow grass in winter, and we've grown a phenomenal amount. So whether it was just because none of the paddocks were eating out very hard, and we were quite conscious of the fact that we were tight, and we've come out the end looking good. We've managed to put, well, don't know whether we'll put condition on ewes. We've managed to not lose condition off ewes. Those light girls in the earlies that got fed a heap of sheep must definitely put condition on. But all in all, I've got to say I'm very happy with how we've come through winter. It's been a lot of work. It's sort of stressed me out a wee bit, but it's been good. The results have been amazing, so guess we must be doing something right, eh? Yeah, right here behind me we've got the singles. Most of the singles, there's a few light ones that we pulled out that are on grass. Now there's their previous break. They had 5 days in that 4-day break, and that's what I mean about this this end of the paddock just being bloody spectacular. So we'll swing you around. So we had 2 days on here now. We're working on 1.5 calves Swedes per day plus a bit of baleage. So you can see I've been a bit slack. This fence would normally be put up over there after they've been shifted onto this break, but yeah, we're getting towards the end of winter, so only got to go out one more time. But yeah, they had 5 days there on a 4-day break and left all that behind. Now admittedly in this sort of weather they won't be eating as much, but they should still be eating their 1.5 kgs of dry matter, so that's roughly 15 kgs of Swedes a day. They're singles, so the pressure inside the stomach isn't really, you know, your twins and particularly your triplets, they actually can't eat enough good quality feed to sustain themselves the last couple of weeks, so you've got to have that condition on them. These girls, it's not such an issue. Yeah, so we worked this at 17 tonne edible. We knew the top of the paddock was a lot better than the bottom, so we thought, well, we'll say it's just a little bit over 20 tonne up here. It's a lot more than that, because yeah, unbelievable. So they got one more break there, and then the hoggets that are down the bottom are going to clean up. There'll be 3 breaks, I'm thinking, in here for the hoggets. So they've got a 2-day break ahead of them where they are on that buffer zone. Sort of had to graze the buffer zone off now, because these girls here, I don't want them getting mixed up with the hoggets. So the hoggets will start on a break on the other side of here anyway. That's what it is. But they won't wind up right beside each other. They're all fenced apart. So yeah, these girls, they'll clean up, or they won't clean this up. 3 more days in here, I reckon, and probably 2 days on their next break, and 2 or 3 days, and we'll be spreading them out, jabbing them. They only get a vaccination, they don't get a prelim drench. Try and not do everything so we don't create too much resistance there. But I'll just show you this too. See the stalk starting to shoot up. This has just happened the last few days. There was one in this paddock. See this thing here, big tall thing. They're starting to go to seed, so yeah, the quality drops off in the tops big time, and yeah, sort of becomes a bit of an issue. But yeah, so they'll just get their vaccine, get spread out, and then the hoggets have the rest of it. Ideally we wouldn't have the hoggets on here now, but what it does, while they're on here eating that, they'll be maintaining their body weight at the very least, and means their rotation out the back on grass can grow a whole lot. And when they go out there, they'll do really well. We'll get some Baileys locked up in late October, early November, hopefully. We'll be well laughing. If that doesn't happen, what it'll mean is that we've made the best of a bad situation. That's if it gets really dry or really cold and wet. Later on, the grass that we're growing now means they'll be pushed further out, hopefully to the end of that, so that either way they'll get fed properly. Tutu's getting shifted when they work out their fences open. Surely. Come on, girls. Silly girls. Yeah, Slim. They'll work it out. Maybe they won't work it out. Took a minute, but they've worked it out. Don't flatten the fence, girls. There we go. Good boy, Slim. You Slim. You Slim. Come here. You're a dickhead, aren't you? Hey. Anyway, pasture covers. Stupid. Yeah, this is the hogget rotation out here. So 1, 2, 3. There's one over the river. 5, 6 is the wee neck down there, and the next dark green paddock over there is 7. So 7 breaks. We'll probably wind up locking 2 of them up for baleage at some point, but I was kind of hoping these girls would deck this out. They haven't. So this would be called eating out reasonably well, not really overly either. But this here is just not. But yeah, bit of a mess around the salt look there. So yeah, case in point again, they got 5 days in here when they're only supposed to get 4, and they've left a heap behind. So we've really come through winter with more feed than we expected. 10 tonne of sulphate of ammonia sitting in the fertiliser bin, and I'm now scratching my head as to whether I should have bought it. But I've got a few paddocks that are a bit bare, a few that I can put it on. Those early paddocks they'll get caught up on, and we'll chuck a bit on there, and then they'll get out of control, but we'll worry about that down the road. Triplets, where are we? Up there somewhere. They've decked that paddock out a wee bit. They've got the next 2 along as well, so those 2 can get a bit of product on them. Yeah, and this hogget block out here, we'll just see how it goes. But yeah, the things you do. Evening checks. I'll soon be afternoon checks. We'll soon get sick of coming at this late, but yeah, at the moment it's quite nice. Bugger all happened this afternoon. Yeah, this girl over here's had a few. Don't know how many, I think 3. I think there's one of someone else's with her. What do we got there? Come on, focus, focus, focus. Focus, focus. Not going to. Okay, anyway. There's 4 lambs with it at the moment. No, there we go. She's got 2, and the ewe back there's got 2. Easy. So Anyway guys, bit of a look at early lambing down here. Antarctica's just over there, so it does get a little bit cold. Anyway, hope you enjoy that guys. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you like what you're seeing. Maybe even give the video a thumbs up, be great. And yeah, we'll see you next time.